Hey, welcome back to the challenge. Lindsay's back today. If you haven't, make sure to follow her on the Instagram. Tell us what it was again, Lizzie.
Miss Lindsay King.
Miss Lindsay King. Okay, cool. Check her out on there. Today we're going to focus on balance in the practice. Well, like we've been doing a bit in week 2, we've been integrating these balancing postures, which this like the next level in yoga practice. So if the balancing postures aren't working for you, go back and work on just the standing variation. So I'll show you the standing variation, then the balancing variation today. But let's just look at our foot for a moment. If you take your foot, have a look at it, you can see the ball of your big toe, you can see the ball of the pinky toe, and then like the heel ball. So when you're balancing, I want you to focus on the base of the big toe mound, the base of the pinky toe mound, and the front of the ball of the heel. This is going to be like a tripod that you're going to balance on. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Let's begin today's class with a little child's pose. Come into child's. And then instead of pointing the toes back, I'm going to ask you to curl the toes under in child's pose. And then the knees can come a little closer together. You don't have to go so wide apart. So this is going to help you to start to open up the sole of your foot. So feel the skin on the bottom of the foot start to spread. Then come up onto your hands and your knees. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, round your back and look back at your navel. Inhale, arch your back, wheel your chest forward. Exhale to round your back, look back. Inhale, arch your back, wheel your chest. Do that one more time. And then come into neutral spine. Stretch your right arm forward and your left leg back. You got it, yeah. But like we practiced, keep the bottom of the rib cage tipped in. Otherwise you're going to get that block jammed in there again. Keep that rib cage up as you grow your arm and your leg longer and change sides. Change sides. Change sides. Okay, now hold that. And as you exhale, open the arm and the leg to the side, but keep your right pinky toe pointing down towards the floor. Yeah. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open up to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open to the side. Inhale back to center. Lower your hand and your knee and change sides. Exhale, open to the side and lead more from the heel instead of from the toes. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open to the side. Feel the glute med turn on when you do that. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open to the side. Inhale back to center. Then lower your hand and your knee and stretch back into your first down dog. Inhale into plank pose. Good, then keeping the hands and the feet right where they are, glide back into down dog from there. So that's a pretty good distance from down dog. The tendency though will be to sink if you're not used to doing a longer dog like this. So keep the middle in, but then see how high you can lift up from the waist. One more time, inhale forward into plank. And exhale, stretch back into downward dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms up. Exhale the hands to your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank pose, one leg at a time. Good. Open up your chest as you hold in your plank. Then lower slowly all the way onto your belly. Inhale, reach your arms forward. Reach back through your toes as you lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the side. Open up your chest. Stretch the elbows away from each other and externally rotate your arms. Stretch the arms straight back behind you. Then place your hands next to your side ribs. And then instead of doing up dog or cobra, press your knees down and come right up into plank on your hands and your knees. And stretch back into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up from the inner thigh. Exhale, bring your knee to your right outer armpit. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, knee to your left armpit. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, step your right foot up by your right thumb. Lower your back knee. Inhale your arms up. Then bring your fingertips right back down to the mat. Then curl your back toes under without your right hip swinging to the side, not even a centimeter. Lift your back knee up. Then, still without this hip swinging out to the side, stretch your arms back behind you. So we need to educate that glute med for the standing balancing poses, which is this outer butt muscle, and this is going to help you to fire the muscles of the core to lengthen the spine for your balancing. Now also at the same time, feel the weight right in the front of your right heel. Then come up from there. Lift your belly, raise your arms up. Whoa, that's good. Then hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Chest open. And then slowly into down dog without the shoulders turning the wrong way on you. Keep rotating those shoulders towards the floor. Tip the ribs. Raise the left leg up from the inner thigh. Exhale, knee to the outside of the left armpit. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale to the right armpit. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale the knee to the chest. Lift it up high, high. Then step your foot all the way up by your thumb and lower your back knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Bring the fingertips back down to the mat. Then make sure that you're not on such a tightrope. You can take your left foot over to the left so there's the knee and the foot, they're at least hip distance apart. Curl your back toes, lift your back knee without the hips swinging out to the side. Then stretch your arms back behind you, but turn on that outer hip so you stay long right in between your ankles. Feel the weight right in the front of the left heel as you press into that. Lift from your belly and come up now. And just feel the connection. As that outer hip turns on, it's going to help you to engage your core. So the work of the legs and the glutes will definitely help with your core, which is super important for balancing. Feel, instead of the toes gripping, a lot of times I see like toes hanging on, maybe you can see on this camera angle, toes hanging on for dear life. Let the toes spread and then spread into those 3 points in your foot. But in this one, especially into the heel. Bring your hands back down to the mat and step back, plank, downward facing dog, stretch it back. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips back. Then take your arms forward, straight out in front of you, hands like they're holding a block. Shift the weight into the right foot. Feel the center of the heel. Let the big toe mound and the pinky toe mound spread forward. Then slide your left leg back into the crescent. The crescent. Then raise your arms up. Roll those outer shoulders forward. Lift up tall through your side ribs. Take your arms forward again, shift the weight into the right foot, slide the back leg forward, chair. Shift the weight into your left. Keep your spine tall. Feel the outer butt turn on so you don't just hang over. Then slide that right leg back. Stay even in that left foot. Raise your arms up. Grow the side ribs through the reach of the arms and roll the outer shoulders. Oh, she's doing such a good job of this. Then hands back down in front of you. Step your back leg forward. Keep that left outer hip working. Raise your arms up. Good, 20 more times we're going to do that. No, I'm kidding. Stand and release your arms at your side. But for real, one more time. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees and sit back. Take your arms forward, straight out in front of you. Shift the weight into the right heel. Let the toes spread. Slide the left leg back. Inhale your arms up. Arms forward. Step forward. Strong right outer hip, long spine. Shift the weight into the left heel. Slide the right leg back. Raise your arms up. Roll outer shoulders, lift outer side ribs up through the fingers. Arms forward, strong outer hip, slide forward. Arms up. And stand, mountain pose, Tadasana. Good job. All right, then release your arms, Samastiti. And fold forward. Then bring your fingertips, come up onto your fingertips. Heck, you know what? Let's use blocks for this one. I think you're gonna like it a lot better. So come up onto the blocks and start to make a flat back. Then step your left foot back about 3.5 feet. And then slide the blocks right underneath your shoulders. Good, then straighten your legs as best you can. And at the same time, grow your spine. Oh, this is so good. So I should be able to put like a foam roller on your spine. It should look totally flat. So if you look in a side mirror or you have a yoga friend, someone around the house who could put a foam roller on you. Sometimes on Craigslist you can find people to do these types of things. They're for a price. You can find a yoga slave on there. Okay, but anyways, get the flat back with the long legs. I don't want to see your legs totally straight and hunched over. Work the spine long and then breathe the legs longer. And now let me see, as you press into those points of your feet evenly, could you stretch one arm back? You got a flat back, right? Then the other arm back. So I would say this is a great preparation pose for Warrior 3, which we practiced the other day when Colin was over here. You guys remember that? That was so cool. So that was like a bent knee version of Warrior 3. This one is working to get the legs totally straight and the spine long. Good, then bring your fingertips back down, step your back leg forward, and let your head drop, round your spine. Inhale into a flat back, elongate, then step the right foot back. Time. How long do you think the last one was? A little over 30? Yeah.
So then you have release.
Yeah, I got you. I smile. Okay, good. So then start to breathe the legs as long as you can again and work on the traction of the spine. Lindsay doesn't even know this. She hasn't been taking the whole challenge yet, and she's got this traction of the elongation that we've been working, which is so important. I'm so glad you have that. Okay, so find that elongation and then stretch through the feet. Find the opening through the big toe mound, little toe mound, the heel. Float one arm back. Float the other arm back. Keep working your spine long. Keep lengthening. Like I'm pulling your tailbone back. Good job. Then hands to the blocks. Step your back leg forward and fold forward. Great job. Bend your knees and roll yourself up to stand. Press down through the left foot evenly and turn on that left outer hip as you bring your right knee up. Don't let the hip sink over to the side. Most common thing is just like hang into the hip. Then reach down to your right knee with your right hand and see if you can lift the knee a little higher without your butt sneaking forward. Take the pubic bone down and keep pressing into the left foot evenly. Now open your right knee to the right. Still stay tall. Oh, where's that left hip going? Not on you, I'm just assuming the people at home aren't doing it well. Then bring your knee back to the front. Raise your arms up. Spin the arms like we've been practicing. And lower your leg and your arms. Let's try it on the other side. Press down even through your right foot. The heel, big toe, little toe mound. Feel the outer butt turn on. That's your stabilizer. Bring the left knee up. Still working that outer hip action. Even into the foot. Take the knee. Now soften the ankle and the knee joint. Turn on the muscles strong, but don't lock into the ankle or knee as you open the leg to the side. Then bring your leg back to center and stretch your arms up. Good, without the pubic bone coming forward, all pubic bone down. Lift up tall over the front of your right ankle where the talus bone drops. That's where you want to find your plumb line. Bring your leg back down and your arms back down. Great job. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back, lengthen your spine, and step back into downward facing dog. Good. Then step your right foot up by your right thumb. Set up your back heel for warrior one. Inhale, raise your arms up. Then bring hands to the hips, straighten your right leg, and adjust the back foot closer if you need to do Parsvottanasana, which was the last one with the fingertips down. With your hands on your hips, I want you to be able to feel this, like you have a stick up your back, a Dandasana spine, tip from the hips, and start to go forward. Now, as soon as you feel your chest starting to sink, your back muscles are turning off, and the front body's closing, just pause there. So you have to feel that the back turns on to keep the chest open. And that's why we've been working on all that back strengthening stuff. Good. Then stretch your arms straight back behind you. So you might just hold here if you feel like, you know what, I got the spine, I've got all this hamstring flexibility, my back has gotten stronger, my front's open, then try lifting your back heel and leaning to balance. Feel on your right foot and your outer hip the connection that we just did standing. Even on the foot, the ankle or the knee aren't locked. The hip joint is open, but the muscles are strong, lengthen. Good, then step back, raise your arms up. Beautiful, great job. Bring your hands down to the mat, step back, downward dog. Step your left foot up by your left thumb. Set up your back heel. Inhale, warrior one, raise your arms. Then bring your arms, hands to your hips, straighten your left leg, adjust your back foot closer if needed, then start to tip from your pelvis. Now as you're going forward, just feel, am I able to keep the whole front of the spine long? The back muscles are engaged to make that happen. Then stretch the arms back. And as smooth as you can, float up. Feel the outer hip and the foot ground evenly. Nice. Level the hips, just like you see Lindsay doing, so good. And then see if you could breathe while you're here. Okay, that's a whole nother thing. Then bend your left knee and as smooth as you can, step back, raise your arms. Bring your hands to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back, raise your arms. Take your arms forward and cross your left leg up and over your right for eagle and the left elbow under. Be forewarned, this is a very tricky transition, but I have faith based on today's class that you're going to be able to do it. I think all the muscles are educated. Start to lean your chest out over your knee And if you round it all, turn on the back muscles again so the front of the spine is long. Feel the right foot even, the right outer hip turn on. Now uncross your left leg and reach it into warrior three without the hips opening to the left at all. Good, then step back into warrior one. Uncross your arms, reach up, look up and join the palms. Full pose, lift from those outer arms all the way up into your hands. Then bring your hands back down to the mat and step back into plank. Lower slowly into chaturanga. Practice our chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into down dog. Then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sit back. Take your arms forward, straight out in front of you. Cross your right leg up and over your left. Cross the right elbow under. As you squeeze in with the legs, feel the spine nice and tall. Then start to lean your chest out over your knees, keeping the flat back. Uncross that right leg and reach it back into warrior three. Keep the left outer hip strong. So good. And then step back into warrior one. Uncross your arms, reach up, look up, touch the palms. Good, then hands to the mat. Step back into plank. Chest open, legs firm, shift forward, lower slowly to elbow height. Ribs like they're on the block, collarbones broad. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Down dog, exhale. Really good. Now inhale into plank pose and come into plank on your elbows. Roll onto the outside edge of your left foot, take your right arm up. Nice save. Work on rolling the right hip right up on top of the left and then stack the shoulders again. Let the head lean back into alignment with the spine. Slowly with control, change sides. Right elbow down, left arm up. Press to your heels like your feet are against the wall. Lengthen like you're practicing your mountain pose, but on your side with your arms doing this instead. Reach to those 3 points in your feet and then slowly come back onto your elbows. Now set your knees down for a moment and then we'll practice the external rotation work for Pinchamayurasana. So put your blocks like an equal sign on your mat, one for your elbows, one for your hands, and lay the arms right alongside the blocks. Yeah, just like that, you got it. Okay, cool. So once you get the arms lined up like this, roll the outer shoulders back and then press the whole pinky finger side of the forearm blade down. Without those shoulders turning in at all, without the middle sinking, curl your toes and lift your knees just 1 inch. Keep that rotation as best you can. Then imagine I had a rope across your hips and I pulled you straight up to the ceiling. Go up and bring the shoulders to stack right over the elbows. Keep turning the skin on the shoulders. Press those forearms down firmly. Now if it's going really well and you have the hamstring flexibility, try raising the right leg up. But if the shoulders turn in at all, don't worry about it. You don't got to take it up. It's okay. Change legs. Raise the left leg up from the inner thigh. Stay even on those forearms. Good job. Lower that leg back down. Now walk back into plank on your forearms and hold for the last 5. Press those elbows down. Hug the side ribs in and down towards the hips. 3, lengthen your spine, grow even longer. 2, firm all the leg muscles. 1, and set the knees down, stretch into child's pose. Really good. Nice job. Then come up onto your hands and your knees and bend your left knee, step your right foot forward, and see if you can bend your left knee and reach back with your hand for your foot or your ankle. If it's too much on your knee, then don't worry about it. You can just keep both hands down and work the quad stretch like that. Good, change sides. Left foot forward, right knee down. Then release that and come to lie down onto your back. Bring your heels close to your buttock, feet hip distance apart. Then lift your hips up and grab a hold of the sides of your sticky mat. Take your forefingers under your thumbs on top and then start to open the front of the shoulders. Spread instead of rolling. And at the same time, let's practice the leg action that we did in reverse plank yesterday. So point your knees straight ahead instead of letting glute max take over, the knees go wide. And then as the front of the pelvis opens, visualize the tailbone lifting right up through there. Feel the neck spine long, the upper chest open, and the shoulders broad on the mat. Then lower your hips back down and position your hands for Urdhva. This is a new one. Even if you're not going to go all the way into the upward facing bow. Okay, so this is a great stretch to work. Yeah, adjust the hair. After you adjust the hair, position the hands. I used to have long hair, so I know what it's like. Okay, so with the hands, you kind of want it so like the index finger is aiming towards your foot, and then just work on opening up the skin of the hands as best you can into the floor. So this is a great tricep stretch as well. Then start to turn the elbows to point back and free up the neck. The neck shouldn't be tensing to do this. Phase one, just lift your hips up off the mat. Then work on opening the hands again and turning the elbows. And if you can just work on this stretch, this is super good. If you'd like to go up onto the crown of your head for a moment, as long as you don't have any neck issues, try doing that, or just hold there.
Where am I going?
It's up to you. Which one do you like? Oh yeah, she can do the full thing. If from the crown of your head you can go all the way up, then go all the way up as Lindsay's showing. But remember, do not jam yourself. It's not a jam session. Later we can have a jam session. Lower yourself slowly back down onto the mat. Great job. Gently hug your knees into your chest. Then take happy baby, reach onto the insides of your knees, grab a hold of the outsides of your feet. Hug your knees into each other. Then curl up to your knees and stretch your arms forward, which is never a good sign. Yeah, but just stay on your back, but just curl your chest up. Yeah, like that. You got it. That's good though, because probably a lot of people are confused by that. Okay, hold your abs in strong and then slowly send your left leg forward. Nice. Change sides. Change sides. And bring your hands up and over to the outside of your knee.
Other way.
Change sides. One more round, change sides. And change sides. Good, now take both arms forward and both legs forward. Hold those abs in for the last 4. Squeeze the front ribs in like we practiced. Each rib to its own hip, opposite hip, each opposite hip to its own rib. And then bend the knees in, back down. All right, little spinal twist. Open up your arms to the side. Set your feet down and cross your right knee over your left knee. Then shift your hips over to the right a little and let your knees fall over to the left. Hips over to the right a little and knees over to the left. This one feel okay on your back? All right. If this one feels too gnarly on your back, then you're always welcome to do the one that I show a bunch with the ankle over the knee twist. That one can be a little more mellow, especially if you have hip or back issues. This one, you get a little more bang for your buck. It's a deeper twist. Come back to center, knees, hips back to center. Change the cross of your legs. Shift the hips over to the left a little and let your knees fall over to the right. Then uncross your legs and stretch out for shavasana, corpse pose. All right, so take your feet just slightly wider than hip distance and let the soles of the feet completely relax now. Let go of the tension in the legs and in the hips. Let the shoulders and the arms relax. Let go of any tension in the hands. Let the abdomen, the chest soften, the back muscles relax. Let the neck and the shoulders relax. Relax your jaw and your tongue. Let go and feel all the space in the body. So when we're stressed out or we have pain in the body that we're more identified with, we tend to be more identified with a feeling of a lack of space. Especially when you're stressed. The body isn't such a nice place to be in. But you can feel when you practice yoga, it feels like there's a spacious feeling in the inner body. So be more connected to that and let that spread through the whole body, even in places that you know that you have sticky spots or weird spots, or where you're holding on to disturbed emotions, where there's any feeling of disturbance in the body. Imagine that there's more space there. Then gently bend your knees and roll over to your right side. Press yourself up to seated. And sit up tall with your palms together. Take a moment here to honor the shift at the end of the practice. And then lower your head towards your heart. Lift your head and open your eyes. Thank you. Namaste. All right. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. I hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you, Lindsay, for coming out today. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Make sure to follow Lindsay on Instagram. Check it out. Come take her class if you're ever local here in Southern California. And also, if you're following along, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how the challenge is going for you below. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.